Well, high fertilizer prices are top of mind for farmers today. Fluctuating costs have many looking for additional ways to boost soil health. It sparked a strong trend in moving from salt-based to carbon-based products. Fred Nichols with Huma has been studying the trend and joins us now with some insight. So happy to see you again this morning, Fred. Now, I know that you've obviously had the chance to have a lot of different conversations with farmers across the country over the years, right? So talk to me about the popularity that you've been seeing when it comes to carbon-based products.
I'm sorry.
Oh, there
I'm
you go.
back.
Yep, you got it.
We're good. Hey, Eliza, thank you for having me. Yeah, we are hearing this all the time. And, it doesn't matter whether you're from the East or from the West, right? A lot of times people associate this movement with Western specialty crop growers, but that's not necessarily, the case. We're seeing a lot of momentum from our corn and soybean belt growers here in the Corn Belt and the Midwest. A lot of it's due to the high fertilizer prices, of course, as you talked about, right? That's really driving a lot of this. When we're sitting at Commodity Classic, well, hey, people come up to our booth and they'll approach us and they'll say, hey, I have got to do something different. The same old is just not working for me. So, how can you help me out here? So, farmers are taking a proactive approach. I was speaking at the World Ag Expo in Tulare not that long ago, and I had a young lady come up and said, I'm taking over the family farm now from my father. I've been going through his old invoices and I'm seeing these exorbitant prices for fertilizer. She goes, this cannot be sustainable for me. Plus the synthetic salt-based products just aren't doing what I need to have them do. It's more like an addiction. So, how can we change things? And of course, she's starting with the soil.
Definitely, because you talk about it gaining momentum, and with fertilizer prices, people having to shift their management styles in order to, make a profit every year currently. So you talk about fertilizer prices, but also what else is driving this interest? What is the benefit to turning to carbon-based?
Yeah, well, let's not kid ourselves, right? Price is, of course, number one. We hear it on your network. You guys do a great job of covering it. The scroller this morning talked about, urea being 45% higher. So, clearly that is number one. And I think what it's also doing is it's positioning some of these carbon-based products much more competitive than they ever have been in the past. We're seeing phosphorus products that we market that actually have a significant cost advantage, not just from a performance, but just from a pure cost standpoint over a MAP, a DAP, 1034O, these type of products. Soil health, of course, is a big driver. As farmers become familiar with tools and adopt tools such as the Haney test, for example, they're really studying microbial populations and they're seeing what, solid soil health can actually do for their farms, which is fantastic. We're also seeing these soils weaken, right? And whether it's the citrus grows in Florida to the wheat farms in the plains, the corn farms in Minnesota, we're seeing soils degrade. The beauty of it is, though, there is a way to bounce these things back, and employing carbon-based products certainly can help do that.
Yeah, and you talk about how it all kind of starts with soil health. If our traditional fertilizers maybe feed the plant, but if we can feed our soil and get our soil to a better spot, then maybe later on down the road, it doesn't need as much of your traditional fertilizer in helping with those costs that people care about, right? So how exactly do these products impact the soil?
Yeah, so we're talking about carbon-based products. Typically, what we mean is products that are made or derived from organic type sources, right? So in our case, our name is Huma. We do it through humates, right? That's our humic acid, right? They serve as excellent carriers, and it really comes down to the term bioavailability, right? Whether that's through the leaves, whether that's through the roots, we like to say that carbon-based products are more plant friendly, right? So plants are more receptive to these kind of products. So they provide excellent carriers to bring nutrients into the plant. And we're seeing that these carriers can provide the nutrients in the plant much quicker. In some cases, we're seeing foliar products applied and enter the leaves within 1 hour. Within the soil, roots typically absorb them in about 24 hours, right? So the whole idea is bioavailability, making it more plant friendly, and of course, feeding those soil microbes so they can do their thing, right? And they can, allow this ecology in the soil to prosper.
100%. And I mean, you mentioned it, but we live in an era where farmers are, asking questions and looking at new products and trying new management styles to see kind of what outcome that can have on their farm. So really great insight this morning, Fred. Thank you again for joining us. And that's Huma Chief Sales and Marketing Officer Fred Nichols.